Hello Legacy Sabers, Marsh here. Today we're going to write equations of lines. You're going to want to have notes, calculator, do some simple math, and then also pen or a pencil today. So, learning target for today. I can write an equation of lines when given a slope and a point, 2 points, or a line that's perpendicular or parallel with a said point. So now, what if, guys, I wanted you to get me directions to Starbucks? What else would you need to know? Well, you would be like, well, what's Starbucks? Well, how do you want to go there? Fast, or do you want to take the scenic route? What do you want to do? Right? So there are multiple ways to write equations of lines. You need to know a few pieces of information about the line that we can decide what form we will use. So if you have the slope and a y-intercept, then you're going to use your slope-intercept form of y equals mx plus b. Super simple. Plug in the m, plug in the b, go to town. You're good. Now, what if you have the slope and a random point on the line? What you're going to want to use is h and k. The slope, kind of like the translated form we talked about last time, which was y equals m times the quantity x minus h plus k. Now, let's try a couple of examples here. So, I'm going to write the equation of the line shown on the graph using y equals mx plus b, because I can easily find my slope and I can easily find my y-intercept. So, my slope is, well, let's find 2 points on the line so I can kind of count here. Got one right there. Looks like I crossed right over here. Looks like I crossed there too. So, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. And over 1. So my slope is 3 over 1, or 3. My y-intercept right here at the point 0, 5. So my equation of my line is y equals my slope, which is 3x plus 5. Y equals 3x plus 5 is the equation of my wonderful, beautiful, awesome line. What if now I give you a point and a slope? Let me show you there are 2 different options for you to do. First things first, you can plug into slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. This is going to take a little bit, some algebra. So I'm going to plug in my slope. So I have y equals 3x plus b. Notice, guys, you do not have the b value. You don't know what it is. So you cannot plug something in for it. But you do know a random x and you do know a random y. So I can plug in -2 for x and -5 for y. So I will have -5 equals 3 times the quantity, -2, plus b, because we still don't know b. But now notice, guys, I now have only one variable in this equation. I can solve for b. So I have -5 equals 3 times -2, -6. Let's add the 6 to both sides. So I'm going to get 1 equals b. That is a funky 1. Holy buckets. I think my pen went weird there. 1 equals b. So now what can we do? I'm going to take this value and plug it in for the b value into the very first thing I wrote out. So now I have my y-intercept, I have the slope. All I need to do is write the equation out. Y equals 3x plus 1. Now, let me put a little bug in your ear. There is another way that requires less algebra and a little less plugging in. So I can use the slope and a random point using my translated form. So let's plug in the point, my slope, y equals 3. That's my slope, right? X. Now, how am I going to plug in that random point? Well, I'm going to put the minus and put the -2 in for my h. So it's going to be x minus a -2 plus k, so plus a -5. Now, let's clean up some signs here. I got y equals 3. Looks like double negative, so x plus 2 then. And then minus 5, because the plus minus, right? Negative wins out. Notice, guys, how these signs changed inside the parenthesis. So instead of being a negative 2, it became a positive. And the sign stayed in the same outside. That is always going to happen, so you don't have to play with the negatives and the positives and stuff. If you have a negative number in your point, all you need to do is change it to a positive inside the parenthesis. The y value is going to stay as it seems. Now, you're probably saying, Marsh, that is not looking pretty. It actually is. Now all I have to do is distribute. So I got 3x plus 6 minus 5. Combine some like terms. And hey, howdy hey, I have the same equation using both methods. Now, I will go further. I will probably be using this one more often just because it is very, very, very useful as we continue in our Algebra 2 curriculum. It's a lot easier for us to be able to use than plugging in for an x, plugging in for a y, and going further. Let's try another example. So I have now 2 given points. I need to find the slope, right? Both of my examples required slope. So how can I find slope from 2 equations, or 2 points? Well, I can use my slope formula, can I? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to go 7 minus 3 over 4 minus 2. So 4 over 2, or 2. So slope is 2. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is use my translated form. I can pick either of these 2 points. Doesn't matter. Either, and also if you use the plugging in for the x, plugging in for the y form, you can use either of the 2 points as well. You'll get the same answer. So I'm going to get y equals slope. Now, remember guys, inside the parentheses is opposite of what you see inside the point. So it's going to be x minus 2. Then plus 3 on the outside. Distribute the 2. So I can get into y equals mx plus b form. So I'll get y equals 2x minus 1. Now, if you use the other way, which you most definitely can if you feel more comfortable in that form, you should get the same answer as I do. If you wish, pause the video right now and check to make sure you do get the same answer as I do. Alright? Example 4. Write the equation of the line that passes through the point 4, 1 and is perpendicular to the line y equals 1/3 x plus 3. I am missing a slope, but I'm given a hint on the slope. I am perpendicular to this said line. What does it mean to be perpendicular lines? Let's refer back to our recent knowledge. That means that they are opposite reciprocals of one another. So opposite reciprocals. Okay? So all I care about from this equation, I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I just care about the slope. It could say plus Christmas tree for all I care. All I want is 1/3. Now, to find my new line's slope, I need to make it the opposite reciprocal of this line. So my current slope is 1/3. Opposite, change the sign. Reciprocal, flip it. So negative it and flip it. So I got -3 for my new slope. This line now does not matter. I don't care about anything else. All I wanted was the slope so I could change it to find my new line slope. Now it becomes like you were just doing with a slope and a point. So I'm going to use my translated form again. So y equals my slope, -3, parenthesis, x minus my x value, plus my y value. Let's multiply that in. So negative 3x plus 12 plus 1, or negative 3x plus 13 for my equation. And that's the end of this video. See you later, Sabers.